Hello and welcome to the Watches TV. Today we are talking Speedmaster, we are talking Omega with two experts, Grégoire Rossier and Anthony Marquier, both author of the Moonwatch only book, a new book that has been just launched this year. And I wanted to start with one question: why is the Speedmaster so special?
In fact, I think that most of people know the Speedmaster because it's the watch that equipped the astronauts of the Gemini and then Apollo missions, and especially the Apollo 11 mission that first went to the moon.
Yes, and I think that you can. It's a watch which is totally timeless, because you can buy today this watch. It's exactly the same watch that was worn by the astronauts 40 or 50 years ago. So it's completely timeless.
The history is very special because the Omega didn't know that the watch was chosen to go into space. It was just by chance somehow that they saw it on television. Can you talk about this story?
Yes, in fact, Omega did recent research about that, and it seems that two astronauts personally bought an Omega Speedmaster during the Mercury mission, and then told to their engineer to select an official watch for the forthcoming missions, Gemini and Apollo.
What can we say about the design of the Speedmaster, which is quite iconic now?
Yeah, that's very funny, because at the very beginning of the story, that it was not designed for space or astronauts or aircraft pilots. Absolutely not. It was just for car racing. It was a sport chronograph, and the thing is that it didn't change during the years. So it's the only example, I think, of such a watch that was never changed during 40 years.
Yeah, in fact, there were evolution but not revolution in terms of design. And I like to compare it with the Porsche 911, which is also from the beginning of the 60s and still alive today and evolved years after year and so on. No direct revolution.
We know that there is a big interest now on vintage watches. What can we say about this vintage Speedmaster?
I think more and more people are interested with vintage in general and on the Speedmaster, because it still remains something affordable financially for some people compared to other brands.
And I think that people just begin to discover the Speedmaster because, for example, there is a huge buzz on Rolex vintage, and prices are extremely high. But in fact, if you take a Rolex Daytona, for example, it's very expensive, but it's not so rare comparing to a Speedmaster. If you are looking for a vintage Speedmaster on the market, in particular the oldest one, it's quite impossible to find. I mean, you will see one or two or three maybe examples, nice examples that are sold every year. So it's extremely rare, and I think that we are just at the beginning of the story for these kind of watches.
What kind of advices would you give to someone that is interested into the Speedmaster?
Learn, read before purchasing your first model.
What makes the price is the integrity of the watch. So the watch has to be completely original with all its elements, all the pieces of the watch. And there is nothing easier than to change just one hand or one crown, and it completely changes the price of a watch.
Finally, I would like to know why we can find a Snoopy on some limited editions of Speedmasters.
In fact, Snoopy is the mascot of the NASA, and they created a prize that rewarded companies contributing to the success of the NASA. And in 1970, following the successful failure of Apollo 13, the prize was awarded to Omega. That's the reason why we have two limited edition with the Snoopy. It was in 2003 and in 2015 this year, celebrating the 45 years of the Snoopy Award.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and have a very good evening. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.